How much should you pay a blog writer? How do you find a great writer? And what should you know about hiring a blog writer before you do it? When you want to outsource your blog writing in your business for the first time, there are a ton of questions that will come up, but there are some important things you may not have considered. In this video, I invited my crack team of professional writers from the Content Direction Agency to share their best tips for how to hire the perfect blog writer for your business. Hey y'all, I'm Lacy from the Content Direction Agency, where we write content for small business owners and help them implement deceptively powerful yet extra playful marketing strategies to achieve business growth. Be sure to stick around to the end of the video and I'll show you how you can grab my free resource on how to give strong feedback to your writer. Your writer will love you and you will love the results. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Let's see, Monica writes, think about your communication style and frequency and how much you want to be involved. This is so important to think about when you're interviewing and hiring a blog writer. We've had clients from all over the spectrum, from clients who want to micromanage every word we write to ones who ghost us and give us no feedback at all.
Hello? Hello?
If you imagine a spectrum of communication styles, people at the extreme of either end aren't going to be happy outsourcing their blog writing. Why? The micromanager is never going to trust the writer. The ghost isn't going to get what they really want because, well, even the best writers can't read minds. So ask yourself, how do you like to communicate best? By email, voice message, in person? How much do you want to be involved? Are you closer to the micromanager end of the spectrum or the ghost edge? No judgment. How much do you want the writer to communicate with you? Daily check-ins? Weekly? Just do the job and shut up? Karen writes in, be sure they understand your voice. There are lots of great writers out there, but not all of them have the skill to be able to write in someone else's voice. That is, your brand voice. One great way to check for this is to ask for several samples that demonstrate different styles or voices in your writing. It's very normal to ask a writer you're interviewing for samples of their work. And when you specify that you want samples in different styles, you'll be able to judge for yourself if the pieces they send sound significantly different. Don't worry if the samples don't sound like you. What you're looking for is the skill to switch voices, not that they already sound like your brand voice. Marie writes, ask the writer about their process. Great suggestion. Experienced writers will have an onboarding process that they'll want to take you through before they get to work. And asking them about it will give you a sense of how they like to operate. Will they work with you on strategy, or is it strictly writing? How did they discover your brand voice? Or are you expected to provide guidelines? How do they research or collect information on the topics you provide? What are their timelines like? Do they deliver posts, say, once a week, or do they batch several at once? How much feedback are you expected to give them? And how many rounds of drafts or revisions are included in the package? Hot tip. If a writer doesn't have any kind of onboarding process, they're probably less experienced. Proceed accordingly. Have you got any questions about hiring a great blog writer? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel to see more of these types of tips. Beth writes, try a test post, but be prepared to pay for it. Most writers are happy to do a test project for you, but don't expect to get it for free. The purpose of a test post is to make sure that the writer's process and your expectations match up. It's like test driving a car before you commit to buying it. With a writer, you might contract them to do just one blog post for you instead of signing a contract or committing to a retainer. The writer may or may not have you go through their entire onboarding process for this test project, but you'll be able to get a sense of what it's like to work with them. Plus, you'll be able to give them feedback and experience what their revision process is like. If you've never really had to give feedback before, or you want to know how to give better feedback, my team and I created a guide that walks you through how to give honest, constructive feedback that won't make you or your writer want to cry. Follow the link on the screen or in the description to grab it for free. Lacy says, wait, that's me. Okay, my biggest tip for hiring the perfect blog writer for your business is to make sure you're actually ready to outsource this part of your business. How do you know when you're ready? Here are a couple of signs. You have a proven offer and an existing audience. We love and cheer on brand new business owners, but it's easier and more effective to work with a writer when your business is in a growth phase, not a startup phase. You love to collaborate, not micromanage. The whole point of hiring a writer is to get something off your to-do list. If you find yourself rewriting everything the writer gives you, you're actually not ready to hire a writer because you're not ready to let go. You have at least one other team member. Hiring a writer to write your marketing content should not be your first hire in your business. So if you don't have another team member, even a virtual assistant, it's probably not time to hire a writer yet. Curious about what it's actually like to work with a blog writer? Check out my next video in which I reveal one of the easiest ways to work with a blog writer and make sure they get your voice and ideas perfectly. Okay.